guys, today we got an amazing book by your boy Gucci Mane. Yes, the autobiography. I'm telling you right now. Look, I'm not gonna hype you up, but I will say this though. This book is mainly a book of triumph. If you know somebody who's been incarcerated a lot, to tell them never to give up, because this body embodies someone who's been incarcerated over and over again, and made failures over and over again, but still comes back stronger and better than the last time. Let's get to it. I want to start off at page 82. He talks about something. This is real interesting that I want to show you here. He says, so he's trying to go and get deals done. Now, this is very important about entrepreneurship, right? When you're trying to get a record deal, you're trying to get things done, sponsorship. This is really important. And I was like, yo, this is good. He says here, Jacob and I did rounds around the next 2 days and met with all the majors. Bruce Carbone at Universal, Kadar Massenberg at Motown, Craig Kallman at Atlantic. And he said, but I really wasn't impressed with what they had to offer, and frankly, none of them seemed all that impressed with me. So he could feel the energy in the room. And he says, my network inside the industry was minimal, and I had barely traveled outside of Georgia. He said they all had the same script. Basically, they had put me in movies and put me on tour and with this so-and-so rapper. But what I was interested in was money and being the head of my own label with their financial backing. I wasn't hearing that anyone wanted to give me that. And most times, when you're trying to do big things, you're trying to be successful, people will tell you they can help you. But when it comes to being your own boss and setting up your own empire, everyone's not there. Gucci Mane ends up leaving New York and does not sign a deal. And he ends up finding someone who is willing to back him with his own deal. Very important when it comes to entrepreneurship. And he had times to take money and he declined it. Let's go to page 160, because I want you guys, when you get to these books, I'm telling you, I can't give it all to you, but I had to get some important parts of the book. Now this is good to me. Now he says this now. When you're making music, sometimes people believe that they only need to be high to make it, but Gucci Mane comes to a very he learned something that's very important about his life. He says this: sober and with a hard deadline in front of me, I was more focused and determined than ever, and it resulted in some of my best music. I always thought I needed to be high to record, but I discovered I was making some of my best songs clean. I even put freestyling on hold and got back to writing. Not just writing verses, but writing full songs. This is what he says. Records like Heavy, Worst Enemy, and even Wasted was done before rehab, and I made all those songs sober. And see, the thing is, I think Gucci was going through a lot in his life, right? And sometimes we think that we need handicaps, or we need things to make greatness, or we need to go through something to have the greatest song, or to make the greatest book. We gotta go through something big and crazy, but that's not true. He learned that it's not the drugs that was making him fire, it's his mind. The drugs is just the effect, but it's the mind that really has the creative juice. That was good. And I wanted to share that with y'all. Let's go to 265. I'm telling you, you won't like this book, especially if you have someone that's been through a lot of jail and stuff like that. I think it'll really help them on so many levels. But this is what's interesting about Gucci Mane. He comes to this point in the road. Listen to this. He says, prison is time, and I try to use that time to better myself. I kept up with the exercise, taking part in workout classes they offered along with my own daily routine. Now, sometimes people go to prison, they don't even use the time that they have. They don't use any time that they have in there. They just waste it away. You gotta be smarter than that. Every time you have a situation, you have to use it to your advantage. But this is what's good though. He said, I followed the changes I made to my body by working to strengthen my mind. I was devouring books, a lot of self-help, inspirational stuff. Now this is a rapper from Georgia. He says these names. This is the books he starts to read. Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, I don't know what that is, Malcolm Gladwell, James Allen, the biographies of Pimp C and Jimi Hendrix, and Mike Tyson's autobiography. And so while he's locked up, guys, he's starting to feed his mind. He's starting to also change his body. And I thought that was good, more so that we have to use our environment to our advantage. Whatever it is that we give it, we have to make the best of it. And I'm get out your way now, because this book was amazing. But I'm just going through this last page that I think you guys would definitely need to read. Now, here is Gucci Mane. This actually starts at the beginning of the book, but I wanted to save it for last because I want you to understand. Sometimes it takes a judge to tell you the truth. No family members, no other stuff, just a regular judge. And this is what it says. You are still a young man. This is what the judge says. You still have a full life in front of you. From what I've been told, my nieces and nephews, you have a very famous life. Now the judge says, I got family members that say you're the man. And she goes on. I've seen a lot of famous athletes, a lot of people in music, movie stars. If they continue down the track, you're continuing down. This is what she said. You're going to be a lot like them. You're going to wake up one morning broke. You're going to wake up one morning back in prison again. Or worse, you're not going to wake up one morning at all. He starts off the book like that. And how many times have we heard that in our lives, right? I thought that was powerful. And he says he remembers this quote. He puts it in the book like, yo, I remember the judge saying that to me. Alright guys, well, I thought this book was intense. Of course, he talks about some of the beefs that he had with some rappers, some ups and downs, you know, but that's not really the interesting part to me because it's all about progression, you know. And that last quote, but when the judge told him, you know, I want to see you be great, but if you don't change, then I don't think that greatness will ever happen. Bam, look at him now. Well guys, that's my time. And that book was the autobiography of Gucci Mane. Hope y'all go get that. I mean, at least go look at it, read it. I mean, library. Alright guys, talk to you soon.